AITA for calling our 4-year relationship a waste of time after my ex dumped me over a threesome from college? I, 24F, was in a relationship with my ex, Aaron, 26F, for nearly 4 years. We lived together for the last 2, shared rent, built routines, made plans for the future, you know, the usual, we're in this for the long haul, kind of vibe. Or so I thought. It was one of those slow Saturday nights. Aaron came home acting weird. Not angry, not upset exactly, just off. She barely looked at me, barely touched her food, and kept checking her phone like she was waiting for something to happen. I figured she had a rough day at work or maybe she got into it with her sister again, so I gave her space. Around 10 p.m., she finally asks me this question, out of nowhere. Did you ever have a threesome in college? My brain just short-circuited for a second. I think I literally blinked like an idiot and said, what? She repeated the question and just stared at me. So I told her the truth. Yeah, I did. Sophomore year. It was messy, drunk, random. 2 other girls whose names I don't even remember now. One night, done, never saw them again. I wasn't proud of it, wasn't ashamed either. It just was. College happened, and I moved on. Then I asked her why she was even bringing this up. Apparently, one of my old friends ran into one of the girls I had the threesome with. How that happened, I have no idea, and somehow my name came up. The girl apparently told my friend, who then turned around and told Aaron. Like it was juicy gossip I'd somehow hidden from her. Aaron got this look on her face like she just watched someone drown a kitten. She said she wasn't mad, just disappointed. Like she was my parent and I got caught smoking behind the school or something. She told me she didn't expect that from me. I asked her, expect what, exactly? That I lived a life before her? That I had a sex life before I even met her? I told her, pretty calmly all things considered, that I didn't appreciate her acting like I had done something to her. Like I cheated or lied or betrayed her. All I did was exist before she came into my life. She didn't yell. She didn't argue. She just said, I need some time to think, and packed a bag and left to stay at her sister's. At that point I figured she just needed to cool off and she'd be back in a day or 2. Spoiler alert, she wasn't. She stayed gone for 3 days. No calls. Just one, I need space, text and radio silence after that. I let her have it. I wasn't gonna chase someone down over a one-night stand I had in college. If that's enough to shatter everything we built, then maybe what we had wasn't as strong as I thought. On the 3rd night, I finally get a text. It wasn't a, let's talk, or, I miss you. Nope. It was. I don't think I can move past it. I keep picturing it, and it's just, changed something for me. I don't think I can do this anymore. I stared at that message for a long time. Like, what the hell was I supposed to say to that? Sorry I didn't give you a full slideshow presentation of everyone I've ever slept with. Sorry that your imagination is more powerful than your trust in me. All I replied with was, okay. Let me know when you want to come get your stuff. That was it. No big fight. No long speeches. I felt numb more than anything. Not because she was leaving, but because I realized how little it took for her to want to leave. For years. We laughed, fought, cried, planned our futures together. She met my family. I went with her to her grandma's funeral. We went through so much together, and none of it mattered when she found out I had a messy college hookup. 2 days later, she shows up. I'd already packed her stuff. I wasn't going to be petty about it. Just boxed up her clothes, her books, all her weird little kitchen gadgets, and stacked everything neatly by the door. She walked in, saw the boxes, and froze. Then she looked at me like I had just kicked her dog or something. You already packed my stuff? I said, yeah. You said you were done. I figured this would make it easier. She just stood there, blinking, and then said, you're really not gonna say anything? I looked at her and said, what is there to say, Aaron? You made up your mind. That's when she started crying. Not sniffling. Like full body crying. And she asked me, did the last 4 years mean nothing to you? Was it all just a waste of time? That was the first time I felt anger cut through the numbness. I looked her in the eye and said, yeah. Honestly? If you're going to throw away everything over something that happened before we met, yeah. It feels like a waste. Because I showed up for you, loved you, let you into my home, my life, and none of that mattered the second you got uncomfortable with something from my past. She didn't say anything else. Just cried and eventually started taking the boxes out. I didn't help. Not to be petty, I just didn't have it in me anymore. After Aaron left, it was quiet. I mean, physically, the apartment felt like someone had turned the volume all the way down. Her plants weren't in the window anymore. Her stupid mug that said, "Don't talk to me until I've had my Prosecco," was gone. The stack of books she always left on the nightstand? Empty. And honestly, that first night sleeping alone in our bed, I felt weirdly peaceful. But of course, the peace didn't last. 2 days later, I started getting texts. One from a mutual friend asking if everything was okay. Another saying Erin was devastated. Someone else messaged me. "She told us you just shut down. That you said the whole relationship was a waste of time." Did you really say that? Yeah. I did. And I don't regret it. But suddenly people were throwing out stuff like, "For years and you didn't even try. She was crying her eyes out, and you just packed her stuff like she didn't matter. You could have explained yourself better. Maybe she just needed reassurance." Oh, so now I'm the bad guy? Where was this energy when she dipped on me with zero warning because of a college hookup I had before we ever even met? Why is it always on the one left behind to do the chasing, the fixing, the apologizing? Like I should have begged her to love me again. Like her walking out wasn't the real ending. I was supposed to perform heartbreak the way she needed me to. Cry at the door. Beg her not to go. Tearfully unpack her things and whisper that I'd do anything to make it work. But no. That's not who I am. And honestly, if that's what she wanted, someone who would grovel just to prove they cared, then she was with the wrong person this whole time. Let's talk about the real issue here. Erin didn't break up with me because I had a threesome in college. She broke up with me because she realized I wasn't the version of me she had built in her head. That's what stung her. That her ideal version of me got cracked by some messy, irrelevant story from years ago. I wasn't squeaky clean. I wasn't some virginal, good girl that fit into whatever fantasy she had going on. She didn't want me. She wanted her version of me. And the second reality showed up, she folded. So yeah. Now I'm the cold, heartless ex in Erin's version of the story. I didn't chase her. I didn't fall apart. I didn't throw myself at her feet and beg for forgiveness over a damn memory that predates her. And because of that, I'm apparently the one who didn't fight. But let me be clear. Fighting for someone who already decided they don't want you? That's not romance. That's humiliation. And maybe this sounds bitter, but looking back now, I can't help but wonder how much of those 4 years was her genuinely loving me, and how much was her loving the version of me she curated in her head. Erin always liked things a certain way. She liked control, structure, predictability. She had this calm, poised, almost performative way of loving, like she needed everything to be wrapped in a bow to feel safe. I was her safe choice. Clean job, no drama, stable routines. She used to joke that I was too chill for her, but I think what she meant was, I didn't scare her. I didn't challenge whatever narrative she needed to believe in. Until I did. One stupid drunken college hookup broke the illusion. Suddenly I wasn't the version she imagined. I wasn't a blank slate. I was a real person with a real, messy past. A past that didn't revolve around her. And instead of seeing that and loving me anyway, she tapped out. Which, fine. If she needed a fairy tale, she should have dated a fictional character. The truth is, I've spent the last week unpacking more than just her boxes. I've been unpacking the whole damn relationship. And yeah, it hurts. It sucks to think you were building a life with someone only to realize you were just filling a role. But weirdly enough, I feel lighter. I don't have to censor myself anymore. I don't have to tiptoe around someone else's insecurities. I don't have to constantly prove that I'm worthy of love because I made a mistake, or had a life, before them. So to the people saying I was too harsh, maybe I was. But sometimes peace looks like putting someone's stuff in a box, holding the door open, and saying, good luck out there. Because if they were really meant to stay, they wouldn't be leaving over a threesome I can barely remember.